Hello, my name is Anish, and my project is the human following robot, and I will be presenting my third milestone. So, for my project, it's now complete up until the base project, and it's if I put my hand in front of the ultrasonic module, it should go straight. If I put it in front of either obstacle avoidance modules, it should be able to go in different directions. So, the three components that I added in this milestone were the ultrasonic module, and then two obstacle avoidance modules. So for the obstacle avoidance modules, it works basically in a binary system where it uses zeros and ones. A zero is going to mean that it's obstructed and that there's an obstacle in front of it, which is through these LEDs, which basically detect if there is an obstacle. And then a one means that it's empty and then that the robot can proceed forward. And then it's also controlled by these LEDs. And then if you put your finger up or if there's an obstacle that lands on one of these LEDs, the signal pin, which is on the obstacle avoidance module, should light up. And the power pin on the obstacle avoidance module should always stay lit up. But the signal pin is the one that changes. And then I had three different connections to each obstacle avoidance module, the ground, which is connected to the breadboard, as well as the VCC, and then the out pin is connected into the Arduino board. And the only difference between these two is that they're connected into different pin numbers on the Arduino board so that the code can treat them like they're separate. And then for the ultrasonic module, there are four connections. One, the ground, the VCC, which are both connected into the breadboard, and then the trig, which acts as the input, and the echo, which acts as the output. So the trig will input the signal, and then the echo receives the signal. And then I also saw that the code uses a formula where to calculate the distance, it needs to take the time and it needs to divide it by the speed of sound. So it needs to calculate how its approximate time that it thinks it will take, in this case, to get to my hand. And then it will use that in order to determine a distance, and then from there, it will see what its movement is. This process happens a little faster, so we're not actually seeing that there's a too much of a delay when it's happening. And then some challenges that I faced were that the potentiometer, which is basically a screw that you spin in order to light up the signal. In my original obstacle avoidance modules, they weren't working, so I had to replace them, and it took me a while to figure out like what was the issue. And then for my ultrasonic module, I saw that the code that I was provided was good, but I wanted to take it one step further because I saw that when it would ever crash into a wall or like a leg of a table, that it would always stop. So instead, when it goes to the wall, it's gonna turn right and it's going to keep going. So this way the robot is always in motion. And when I was connecting these two, I didn't have too many other challenges. And then for my next steps, I hope to add a remote control and maybe add some LEDs and possibly program to the remote control.